Hey guys, so this is gonna be an interesting trip. I did a trip to Hueston Woods. Had a little issue with my key fob where I believe the battery are getting very low or died. I couldn't start the ADV when I was in at the lake, and I got a little panicky. But actually, once I warmed the key fobs up, one of them I guess worked enough to start the bike. So stay tuned for the video, and thanks again for all your support. This trip's about 35 minutes north of me, not too bad. Here's the map. I know if you're not from this area, it's hard to understand, but pretty nice little country road back and forth, and hope you enjoy it. Stay tuned for the video here now. Thank you. Yeah, so naturally I had a technical difficulty. I already went back and fixed it, but I get down the street, and I think this is still before I even went back to the house, but I'm noticing this key indicator on my console blinking, and I've never seen that before. So I'm thinking, do I want to risk this? And because these things, so I turn around, you can see I'm actually heading back to the house, because I remembered I have another key fob in the house, and I'm assuming it's just a battery. These take these little CR 2032 wafer batteries, these little key fobs, and because it dropped down to something like 50 something degrees overnight, so I had to go back and I was going to get my other one that was been in the house, and I'm sure that one has better juice. So that's what I'm doing. I'm like, oh, for crying out loud. So I had to go back and get my other key fob. Got some batteries on order, but the one in the house, is probably fine. So I took both of them, but it's just an indicator that your battery's getting low in the little key fob. So that's kind of a pain, because I was a little anxious about that because I didn't want to get too far away, and not be able to start the bike or turn the ignition switch. So don't like that feature. I wish they would go back to the key, like I said, but hey, what can you do? So yeah, I had to go back home and, do all that. Luckily, I wasn't too far away when it started, so that was a good thing. But, with technology, it's always something, one thing after another. That's why they give you two. Keep one in the house, Yeah, it is what it is, There's always something you got to deal with in life, but that wasn't too crazy. Now, initially, my key fob light quit blinking on the console, the LCD indicator, but then it comes back later. You know why? Because I still have both key fobs, and there it is, I think, blinking now. So I wasn't too concerned over that now, at least because I got the spare that was in the house, which the battery was a lot warmer. But it's still just indicating that the other key fob is getting a weak battery. So I pretty sure that I'm fine. I just didn't want to, like I said, take my first really longer trip and then get somewhere where I can't start the bike. That would not be fun, especially going to a kind of a more remote lake and I didn't even know if I could get a cell signal. I'm sure I did, but you never know. I just worry about those things. I just a little unnerving, but hey, we made it. So you can see my key fob light blinking. So that just means, I looked it up, that just means the battery's going dead. So I have both key fobs in here. I had one in the house. So I'm taking both just in case. See, it goes away. And because it's very cold out, I had this sitting in the garage all night. I'm thinking it's only like 60 degrees right now. 7:20 in the morning. So I'm trying to get an early start to get on the road, which I'm doing. But then as soon as I leave, I'm like, oh my gosh, what is that? And then it's the key fob. So there's little, I believe they're, the 2032 wafer batteries. So I got to deal with that later, but I brought the other key. I had two key fobs, so I brought the one I had in my house with me. So we should be good. I got my phone if we break down. Anyway, I rigged this. There's a 12-volt adapter that hides in this panel. I drilled a little hole there because there's a rubber seal that you can't, because this wire is thicker, this charger cable wire is thicker. I just drilled a little hole there, and then I have some play, so no problem with the play as far as the tension on this. So this is a direct contact battery to my phone, which is cool. So let's hit the road. We're going to go to Hueston Woods today. This is a state park. It's not too far of a venture. It's about, maybe 35-40 minutes. And it's just cold right now, so I'm going to I got the long sleeves on and stuff, but it's going to get like near 75 today or 80. So I'm just going to grin and bear it for now because it is chilly. But it's lovely. There's nobody out. My time of day. And that's why I get up early. I got up at 5:30 again this morning. Nobody cares. But hey, I like to do that. So let's hit the road. yeah, this is my type of morning, you know, not too much traffic out. There's a few people here and there, but this is this a Saturday or Sunday? I can't remember what day it is, but I think this was Sunday morning. But either way, even if you do it on a Saturday morning or Sunday morning, you have a better likelihood of not having too many cars on the road and things. So yeah, I was just going, this is the little, this is the old town of Hamilton, Ohio, in southwest Ohio, and it's starting to build up. You know, it's transitioning into some chic little shops and stuff along the road, but you know, it's and then actually my son lives up here a little further, but so everybody's close, you know what I mean? So it's not a long drive to get to his house, and it is what it is. But yeah, I wanted to stretch my legs, like I've been saying in past videos, that I wanted to get out there and just explore a little bit more around my area. And this is not too far away, like I said, maybe 35-40 minutes one way, and I'm not going to film the way back that much. I think I might have a little bit of footage, but it's more important to you know, like I talk about a lot, because I'm really into these videos as far as trying to make them engaging, you know, and interesting. So I hope you like it. Any feedback would be, you know, gladly welcome. I'm a big boy. I can take constructive criticism. So I'm just trying to find ways, and I think a lot of people don't like to watch. You know, it's kind of hard because I have some people say I enjoy watching the videos. You know, I know the wind noise is a problem. I have people say, hey, I want to hear the engine, you know, but the problem is with my setup right now, unless I'm going very slow, you can't hear the engine over the wind noise, right? So I have to find some ways to do that. Now I have some ideas. I don't know. I can put a mic down more towards the engine or the muffler if somebody really wants to hear the scooter, which I think is kind of cool. Like I said, I watch a young lady called Itchy Boots. Great name. But she has a YouTube channel, and she travels the world and man, just different countries, and you can hear she's got a really good audio setup, and I'm not sure what she uses because you can hear the engine noise, but the wind noise is blocked somehow. So she must have something inside the helmet, and I know she wears a mask, like a fabric mask over her mouth. So I think that's something that also helps block the wind noise. So that's an idea too. But anyway, I'm just trying to find ways to do this where, you know, it's engaging for the audience. And honestly, the scooter noise, it's just a scooter. I mean, it's neat to hear the engine noise, but also when you're riding like just a long distance and you're just going down a road like this, it's really kind of like not necessary to me. Now, you know, some people might disagree with that and they want to hear the engine noise, but it's just, I guess it's cooler if you're going slower and you're on the throttle more, you know, up and down on the throttle. But if you're just cruising like this at 60 miles an hour or 50 miles an hour for like 20 minutes, right? That's just really the engine or the muffler noise is unnecessary to me. You know, what are your thoughts? You know, leave your comments. I'm really, there's some cows on the left there. I almost wanted to stop, you know, but it was so cold, man. I'm like driving right now or riding right now, and I think the temperature was not even 60 degrees yet, and I'm really like shivering. Even though it looks warm in the video, no, it's cold. And I know some of you up north where you're saying 50 degrees isn't cold, but you got to keep in mind, when you get above 40 miles an hour, you got that extra, you know, wind on you, and it's cold wind. And I tell you what, by the time I got to the lake, my hands felt like they were frostbit. So I've got to invest in some winter gear, even though it's summer, you know, because I like riding in the mornings, I really do. So when you ride in the mornings, it's freezing, you know what I mean, until the sun comes up. But anyway, so yeah, this is a nice little trip. I'm trying to trim the fat as I drive here, you know, just so I'm not so monotonous on my one-way roads. But it takes a little ways to get there. It's a haul. And then you get some farmland. I got to see some country, and I like these quaint little towns, you know, with the little churches and the little homes. It'd be kind of interesting living in a small town like this where like everybody knows everybody. I think that would be kind of cool. maybe to some extent. Hell, I don't even know my neighbors. You know, I've lived here at our house for 17 years, I think, and there's some neighbors that I've never even talked to. Not like directly next door, but a couple houses down. People kind of keep to themselves for the most part, you know? Hey, so I made it. Cut out a lot of fat, like I said. I didn't do the whole trip going up. A lot of it's just the same road, you know, the same type of scenery. So you know, you kind of have to trim out the monotonous stuff. But I'm getting better at that. But people do like to see the countryside, so that's partly point of a moto vlog, you know. So this is actually entering Hueston Woods State Park. The thing I worry about more than anything when I'm driving and there's nobody around is deer. Because if a deer, especially when you're going through the woods like this and something darts out in front of you, you don't have any time to react. You really don't. And I've always got spooked about the potential of, never had it happen, thank goodness, but you know, when you're going 55, 60 miles an hour and you're riding on the road where there's cornfields on either side, you just never know when something's going to dart out in front of you. And that would not be good. Not at all. Matter of fact, coming up here, you'll see in a little bit, if you check out on the left, I got a deer that, it was just a small deer, but it was just standing right by the side of the road. And the ADV is not really loud enough to draw a lot of attention to you. But so for the most part, the deer didn't even move. And it's coming up here in about, I don't know, maybe 10 seconds or so. So look for, and it's kind of hard to see on this video, like I said, when you have this camera, the GoPro, in super wide mode, you can't really see too much close up. But right around this bend on the left, you'll see this deer. And it's coming up. Yeah, there it is. So it's just standing there checking me out, didn't run or anything. But yeah, you never know. Like these trees on the right here, what if the deer just bloop decides to pop out, and jump across the road? Bad news bears, right? So anyway, I don't like to think that way, because I think I'm one of these people that your thoughts really shape your reality. So I'm a positive thinker, and I except when I vent about our government and the BMV, of course, that was a rant and a half. But for the most part, I try to keep a positive attitude, and just don't think of the negativity, because I don't want to draw any of that to myself. I'm a firm believer that we create our realities by our thoughts, and some people believe that. Some people just think we're here by chance and we just have to live lives. But no, I think you can shape your life, man. You can do whatever you want. So just stay positive, think positive, and you'll start enjoying a positive life. That's my philosophy anyway. So for the most part, that's what I do. Just hope the deers are nice and behaved and they don't like to dart across the street, and then I'm good, right? I'm gonna finally rest here because I am freezing my butt off. So thank goodness for a stop, finally. Hey, what's going on? I made it to Hueston Woods, and I had a little bit of worry this morning because my KeyFob, I think both battery, I don't know if one battery or both are starting to die. I think it's just one, because when I came to my bike in the morning, because it got really cool last night, maybe below 60 degrees. I get on my bike and I start leaving the house, and I have this little flashing key fob, or it's like a key symbol, and it was flashing, and I'm like, oh crap, I don't want to get an hour away from home and not be able to start my bike. The only thing about these things is you need the key fob to start these bikes, and I don't like that. I just wish they could go right back to the same old-fashioned key, you know, where you put the key in and turn it, but you have to unlock it with the key fob, which takes a battery. Not a big fan of that. It's great when it works, but you know, you need to make sure you have extra batteries on you. It's always something. So anyway, we'll see how it goes. I got the key fobs. Actually, this is what it looks like. Little key fob. And I got 2 of those. But, you know, I'm keeping them in my pockets to warm them up and hopefully get enough battery juice to at least start this thing. So I'm at Hueston Woods. As you can see, I'm going to flip this around. Oops, that's not it. I took a picture of myself or something. Bear with me here. There we go. So this is what they call Hueston Woods, Acton Lake, I believe it's called. And it didn't take me too long to get here. There was of course, a road closed, so I had to take a little detour. But they park there. There's boats back here, storage, and there she is. I don't know why I call it a she. But yeah, I'm going to tour around here a little bit, but it's really quiet up here. There's like nobody here. Well, of course, there's a couple ladies walking a dog, but that's about it. Sorry. So this is the beach, Hueston Woods Beach. Guy out there on the tractor, kind of raking the sand. Some fishing boats, lots of geese, lots of goose, and they get ornery, so you don't want to get near them. But there's probably 40, 50. Saw some turkey vultures earlier, which was pretty cool. Things are huge. But anyway, this is the beach. Again, made it to Hueston Woods, and first thing I have to do is, now that I had this issue with my key fob, I locked the steering before to use the restroom up there, and I couldn't get it unlocked. So I don't know if my key fob just is going, you know, that weak or what. So I'm a little concerned that I got to get those changed out. So just be aware of that. I have an extra one here, like I said, but this was in the house, so I think they just take those little wafer batteries, you know, but that's okay. I'm not going to mess with it right now. Anyway, I'm going to go look for some more sights here. I came across a deer when I was heading into the park that, I don't know, I think you saw it on video, where I probably should have stopped and actually seen if it would let me touch it or something, because it was very tame. It didn't even like move. I don't know. So we but yep, still starting. That's a good sign. So yeah, this is the part of the ride that's awesome. When you get away from traffic and you, like I'm here, you know, doing these little windy roads back in the forest area, You know, it doesn't get any better than this. And actually it warmed up quite a bit now, so this is like the perfect ride right here. Just going through the tight trees, like I said, as long as the deer doesn't come out and slam into me, I'm good. But it's very peaceful. Nobody out. Sun's coming up, or has been out for a little while now. And these are just this is why I like to come to these parks, these state parks, because excuse me, they have a lot of scenic, views, and just got to be careful of the animals. But this is what it's all about, riding. And I'm sure anyone out there that has a motorbike, no matter what brand or make you have, it's just about being on two wheels and enjoying the beauty and the weather. And you can see the sign there. It's a bunch of windy roads, and this is life right here. This is why I wanted to take this trip. I mean, I enjoy riding the bike, but riding around the subdivisions countless times gets a little old. So I'm gonna start keep saying it, stretching my legs and getting out more. The next place I want to go, and I mentioned this before as well, is Cowan Lake. Cowan Lake is another state park, and it's a little bit different direction. It's more north, near Wilmington, Ohio. I don't know if you guys heard of Caesars Creek, but most of you are not from Ohio. But I mentioned this is where I grew up as a child, fishing and camping and building forts in the woods. I had my own set of friends at the campground. My parents would go up literally every single weekend. My dad was a mechanical engineer. So when he got home from work, it was early in the afternoon. He worked in a machine shop type environment. So he would get home 3:30 in the afternoon on a Friday, well, every day for that matter, but on Friday, Mom would already have all the stuff packed. She would spend the day packing, and Dad got home at 3:30, and by 4 o'clock, we were on the road, and it took about an hour to drive because my dad drove like a snail, but we finally got to Cowan Lake, and there was a little campground called Beechwood Acres, private campground on the opposite side of the state park, or opposite side of the lake. And that's where I spent my childhood. As long as I can remember, my home away from home was camping. Saturday or Friday night, Saturday, and we would leave Sunday, like maybe early afternoon. And that's how I spent my childhood. So I had my own set of friends at my house, and I had my own set of friends at the campgrounds. Completely different lifestyles. So that was really cool. And then as my parents got older, I think I was a teenager. By the time I got into my late teens, they stopped camping. But that was fun times, and going to a place like this kind of reminds me of that. So I want to get to Cowan Lake, so let's stay tuned for that video. That's going to be a fun one, a little sentimental because that's where I grew up. So I can't wait to do that ride. But I hope you enjoy this one, and stay tuned for more. Come here, babe. Little doe, look at that. Look at that. I don't know if you can see it on the camera. That's a baby. Gotta watch out for mom. Sometimes they charge. They don't like that. Oh. That's an archery range. If you're into that kind of thing. The dam is down here, I thought. I don't know if you're allowed down here. remember coming down here. I think you can, yeah. There was no signs posted. Okay, there's cars down here. I didn't know if you could drive back here. Apparently you can. I don't remember this being gravel though. So the dam is down there, right there. I don't know if it's hard to see on the video since I got it in super wide mode, but there's a dam right there. And it's really cool. I've walked back there before and I've actually probably like, man, you know, 15 years ago or more, I took some pictures back there. Actually got really close to the dam. And that was pretty cool. But, yeah. Those same ladies walking the dog. I tell you what, I don't care how far away you think you venture from home, or there's always people, you know. People everywhere. At least not too many up here, but this is a pretty cool area. Nice that you can take the ATV, just drive anywhere you want, which is neat. Gotta make sure you don't fall off the cliff. That's a long way down. But yeah, this is nice. Not a real big fisherman. I used to be when I was younger, but not really into fishing any longer. I don't know what that's all about. Looks like somebody was getting ready to build a fire, start a fire. I don't know why anybody would do it right here. Perhaps Bigfoot. Yeah? Sasquatch. I don't think Sasquatch builds fires. dam. I would go up there, but I don't even feel like leaving my bike alone down here. I don't know. The dam's right up there. Not too far, but you can see the gates, the fence. Still kind of leery to leave my bike just out, you know, where I can't see it. I mean, this thing's so light. Not that anyone would. But you could pick this thing up and put it on a truck pretty easily. Kind of cool though. This handles really well on the dirt, you know, the rocks. I don't feel like it has any trouble whatsoever. You know, it's got the better suspension, and yeah, just trying to purposely go over some bumps. Does a pretty nice job. First time I really had this on a dirt road, believe it or not. Or a rock road, I should say. A lot of rabbits back here. Some deer down there. I like the camera angle for the video, the rides, like when I'm riding a motorbike. The super wide view, but the problem is the viewer can't see anything like outside the range of probably, I would say, 15-20 feet. So, you know, when I'm pointing to deer or something out in the distance, it's not even, you know, you can't even see it. So that's kind of interesting. I really need to invest in multiple things, and you know, with doing a YouTube channel, it can get costly very quickly. The people that do it well, and there's some of them I follow, they have multiple cameras, they have actual, you know, camera people that are filming them. They have drones. They have all kind of things that, and I have a drone that my son got me for Christmas or something. So I have a drone that actually has a camera in it. I've taken it out once, but I've really never tested the camera part of that. So I'm going to do that one of these days. But it's not I don't think it's a real expensive one. It's kind of like, I would say just a moderately priced one. So not even sure of the quality for something like that. But I'll definitely have to check it out and see. Anyway, yeah, the view is more for riding the bike, not so much, hey, there's a deer 100 yards away. Like, you're going to be able to see that, right? So it is what it is. But pretty cool. I see all kind of things when I'm on my bike. Unfortunately, the viewer can't see those things. So enjoy the road, right? That's all you can do, is just enjoy the road and the trees and the double yellow line, and hopefully I stay on the correct side of that. Haha. Hey, thanks for our contribution from Greg from Billings, Montana. Check out the box on the back. Must be a parent. He's a Batman fan. Like the little Batman logo, man, on the shield in the front and on the license frame. That's pretty sweet, man. Good looking ride. Really like that shield, that smoke shield. That is nice. Thanks for the contribution, buddy. I like it. So that was cool. Hueston Woods. That's the first time I've been there in years. So got a nice little trip in, got some gravel roads, and the ADV handles really nicely on the gravel roads, which was pretty surprising. So yeah, I'm back. I left it, I got up at 5:30 this morning, hit the road, I think a little bit after 7, and it was freezing. I tell you what, it was, my hands were numb, and I should have worn more clothing, but you know, you live and learn. So I didn't, and now it's hot, so I had to lose a layer, but dress warm. When you're driving and it's probably 60 below, it's not 60 below, 60 degrees and below, you factor in the wind, you know, when you get above 30, 40, 50 miles an hour, it is cold. So got that in, still morning basically. So we'll see what the day brings, but yep, it was pretty cool. And I really love how the bike handles, and hope you liked it.